Hi there, this is Ranjit and I have this Samsung Galaxy S5, which is the Exynos Octa Core version, and I also have this HTC One M8, and we'll be doing some benchmarks. I actually don't like to do benchmarks, but some of you have asked me to do it and compare it with this S5. And again, this is the Exynos Octa Core version, so we'll be doing the benchmarks. And before that, let me show you the configuration using this CPU Z app. We'll start with the S5. And as you can see, this S5 Exynos version is a octa-core version, and in this version all the 8 cores can be active. And as you can see, all the 8 cores are actually active from 0 to 7, that's 8 cores, and they are divided in two parts. The ARM Cortex A15 architecture is clocked at 1.9 gigahertz, and the lower cores, that is ARM Cortex A7, are clocked at 1.3 gigahertz. One major difference is the GPU. The GPU on this Galaxy S5 Exynos version is the Mali T628 GPU. And if you go to the system chip, it sports a 5.1 inch screen, and the screen resolution is the same, 1080p. So let's look at this HTC One M8. One thing I notice is you see this flickering here on the screen, and it makes the screen a little bit unresponsive. It's only happening in this app. It never happened with the CPU Z on any other phone I have tested. I must have tested more than 50 phones, but that's how it is. And this one is clocked at 2.2 that's almost 2.3 gigahertz, and it's based on the Snapdragon 801 chipset. And as you can see, it's a quad-core processor, and the GPU on this is the Adreno 330 GPU. And regarding the screen, it sports a 5-inch screen, that's a 1080p screen. So that's the major difference. And let me just swipe away all the apps, kill all the apps, and let me show you the scores starting with Quadrant. I have already run the benchmark, so let me just quickly show you the scores. And as you can see, these are the Quadrant scores for the HTC One M8, and we got a very impressive score of 24,330, which is actually an excellent score. Let's see what we got on the Galaxy S5. I also ran the Quadrant on that, and I saved the scores, so let me just show you that also now. And we got a score of 22,968. That's almost close to 23,000 on the S5 Exynos version. I also ran the Antutu Benchmark, which is again a very popular one, and here, as you can see, we got a score of 36,000, and on the S5 we got a slightly higher score, that is 37,505. That implies that in raw processing, the Exynos version is slightly faster than the Snapdragon 801 version, but not by a huge margin. 36,000, 37,500. I also ran some graphic benchmarks. For example, this is Epic Citadel, and this is important for gaming. I ran it at the highest setting, and as you can see, we got a score of 45.4 FPS, but it fared a little bit better on this HTC One M8, and we got a very impressive score of 57.8. So for gaming, looks like the Adreno 330 GPU will be slightly better compared to the Mali 628 GPU that we are getting on this S5 Exynos version. I also ran this one more benchmark. For example, let me just show this Nenamark 2, which is not a very heavy benchmark by today's standard, but let me show you the scores. Here, the HTC One M8, as you can see, scored 58.8 FPS, but the S5 scored 59.9. Actually, the max score generally you get on this one is 60, so this one went slightly ahead. So these are some of the benchmark scores that we got on the HTC One M8 versus the Galaxy S5 Exynos version. Again, both these devices are very fast devices, and they handle the Android UI without any issues. I did not notice any lag on both the devices, so they are pretty fast devices. So I hope that you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching this video. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.